Hello, hello, welcome back from the lunch break. Good afternoon, everyone. Please be seated when you find your seats. Regularly assigned seats. Council will stipulate that the entire panel has returned.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please be seated. You're all comfortable, Mr. Jones. I'll let Mr. Farrow hand out the notepads. Thank you, Mr. Farrow. Whenever you're ready, Attorney Madden, you may continue.
Mr. Jones, do you remember before the break I showed a video of your deposition?
Yes.
And in that video, what you were acknowledging is that your claims that the parents were actors. You remember that?
No, it was hypothetical about a Potemkin village.
That's what you think that was? Let's play it again. Can we pull up, please, that clip?
And that is
Watch it
exhibit.
up to Mr. Jones.
What exhibit is that?
372, Judge.
Oh, thank you.
There is a fictitious person named Robbie Parker with an actor playing. You'd agree with me that by going in front of the camera to millions and millions of people, there would be somebody who would know, hey, I know that guy. That's not Robbie Parker, right? Just answer that question. Do you think that, is that a reasonable expectation?
No.
Okay. And, if somebody were to recognize,
It's a Potemkin village.
if somebody were to recognize the person playing Robbie Parker isn't in fact Robbie Parker,
You lose it? Take your time. your claim in response to my question that there's a fictitious person named Robbie Parker with an actor playing, you'd agree with me that by going in front of the camera to millions and millions of people, there would be somebody who would know, hey, I know that guy. That's not Robbie Parker, right? Objection. Just answer that question. Do you think that, is that a reasonable expectation?
No.
Okay. Objection. And, if somebody were to recognize,
It's a Potemkin village.
if somebody were to recognize the person playing Robbie Parker isn't in fact Robbie Parker, that would blow the whole hoax, right?
Objection.
You know what a Potemkin village is?
Answer my question.
None of this is a Potemkin village.
Okay. By Potemkin village, you mean everybody who was in the immediate community would have been in on it.
Well, they set that up
Right.
during World War II.
No. That's what you mean, that everybody in the community is in on it.
Not everybody, but in a close-knit area.
Which would mean it's certainly all the parents of children who were killed would have to be part of that conspiracy, right?
Or maybe it didn't even happen.
Everybody in the community is in.
Not everybody, but in a close-knit area.
Which would mean it's certainly all the parents of children who were killed would have to be part of that conspiracy, right?
Or maybe it didn't even happen, is what people were saying.
So they're clearly actors. And what you're describing for me is a conspiracy in which, where there is a mass shooting, that everybody involved in the mass shooting has to be in on the hoax, right? For it to work.
Objection. Yes.
Okay. And in that circumstance, if everybody's in on the hoax,
that means that there were never any children to begin with, right?
Objection.
Yes.
Because it wouldn't be believable that only one parent would fake their child's death. It would have to be everybody.
Objection.
Right? Yes?
Yes.
That was your testimony, sir?
You say the school was only open as a cutout, right? And what you mean by cutout is basically a set, as if in a movie or a play.
Potemkin Village.
Right. So this was basically just a fake set on which this hoax could play out, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. When you say cutout, that's what you mean.
Yes.
All right. And you say that it was closed until right before the shooting, right? The school itself.
Yes.
That's your testimony, right, Mr. Jones? That's a yes or no question.
It's highly edited. No, that's not my testimony. So, I mean, why can't
Was that you
explain it?
speaking?
Objection.
But it's, I mean,
No, no, just wait till the next question.
I mean, I said in the interview I thought it happened.
Mr.
Just
Jones?
edited it.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
I said so, we can't say stop.
Okay.
You didn't stop.
Just air
We
it
don't,
tape.
we don't want anything unpleasant. So just
Okay.
stop.
This was your deposition testimony, was it not, that I just played?
Yes, clips of it.
And you acknowledged during your deposition that you had said that the parents were clearly actors, quote, clearly actors, correct?
No, I said it looked like Robbie Parker was acting.
Mr. Jones, are you aware, having watched some of this trial, that this jury has actually seen a lot of your videos
I
already?
watched some of the trial.
Sir, please just, if you can answer my question. Are you aware, having watched some of the trial, that this jury has already seen a lot of the videos that you made about Sandy Hook?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know,
Sustained,
Move to strike.
so ordered.
Mr. Jones, did you watch the parts of the trial where I showed a video of you saying the parents were clearly actors? Did you watch that part?
I don't remember.
Okay. You're not telling this jury that you never said there were clearly actors, are you?
No, there had been a point in time where I believed it probably was a hoax because of all the stuff surrounding it.
Judge, I could just move to strike that.
I mean,
I think it's responsive.
I'm gonna strike it.
So let's see if we can do this again. You're not telling this jury that you never said they were clearly actors, right?
no, I'm not
You
telling you.
acknowledge you said that.
I said some might have. It looked like some might have been yes.
And we just saw you say, when I asked you what you meant by a cutout, and you acknowledged that you meant that it was just a set on which this fake hoax could play out, right? You see that testimony there?
You were asking me a hypothetical of what it is. Yes.
Move to strike, Your Honor.
So ordered.
So when you called, let's do it this way. You acknowledged that among the things that you said about Sandy Hook was that it was fake, yes?
Yes.
Synthetic,
Yes.
manufactured,
Yes.
with actors,
Yes.
total hoax.
Yes.
You acknowledged that repeatedly you mocked parents by saying that they had done the fake, the laughing and then the fake crying, right?
No, not parents. I said Robbie Parker. Look fake to me.
Did you remember the video we just saw earlier in which you said, it's not just one, you have a bunch of parents doing that. Do you remember?
I told you I didn't say their names, so I can't say I said the parents.
So, did you remember when we just played a video, not long ago, that I showed you on this very point, where you said, it's not just one parent doing this, but a bunch of parents.
I
Did you
remember
remember
the
seeing the
video.
video?
Yes.
That was you in it, right?
Yes.
You chose to say that. Nobody made you say
Yes.
that, right? Now, Mr. Jones, am I correct that over time, there have been many instances in which you have learned that there are members of your audience who have been provoked to violence by
Objection
you?
at the forum, am I correct? Nobody cares about Mr.
No.
Okay. I'm not correct about that. That to this day, you're
Just one second, Srini. Donati, if your client is gonna speak through your objection, there's nothing I can do about it at this point. So should I
Understood.
remind him again?
Yes, please.
So, Mr. Jones, when your attorney objects, just stop speaking so that I can rule. You're getting your answer out before I can even.
I understand.
Okay.
You expect of your many, many, many millions of audience members that many of them believe what you said, right?
Yes.
And you know that over time, members of your audience have committed violence, correct?
That question's, I can't answer that.
You don't know the answer to that, is what you're saying.
I mean, yeah.
And you familiar with a 2011 Rolling Stone article in which you were profiled?
Vaguely.
You say vaguely. Isn't that an article that you prominently featured on your website?
There's been a lot of articles on the website.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can refresh your recollection. Why don't we pull up Exhibit 74?
That is a full exhibit, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And let's go down a page. Okay, here we go. Right, you recognize that this was part of your website in which you were telling your audience all about you, about Alex Jones, right?
Objection when, Judge?
Sustained.
This is an evidence with the date, Your Honor.
My client needs to know the date.
Well, let me ask him. Let's go back to the top. This is a webpage of yours that's about Alex Jones, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if we go, and you don't dispute that you published this, yes?
Looks like an old, some old, no, it looks like my site.
Yeah. And if we go down to the bottom, it's okay, read that. Go ahead, yeah, let's pull that up. You can see here, Mr. Jones, that you quoted a 2011 Rolling Stone article, right?
Yes, I mean, I acknowledge there's been a lot of Rolling Stone articles.
How many have there been about you?
Quite a few.
Okay. Is this the only one that you featured on your website?
I don't remember any of this.
All right. You don't remember any what?
I mean, I vaguely remember what you're talking about. So I
You
said yes.
remember that you were profiled in 2011 in Rolling Stone, yes?
Same answer I gave a few minutes ago, yes.
And you decided to feature that quotes from that article on your website, right?
Somebody did, yes.
Is this your website? Do you take responsibility for anything, Mr. Jones?
No, but I mean,
Objection to the form moved to strike
Most
that
of it all.
representative.
Sustained.
And in this 2011 Rolling Stone article, you actually cooperated with the author. You gave him an interview, did you not?
I remember the interview now. I've never seen his name.
And in that interview, you told the author, quote, "Some unstable people are drawn to the bright flame of enlightenment. That is so-called conspiracy culture. Some trees are going to become uprooted in a storm like this. But we can't stop telling the truth for fear of what telling the truth is going to do." Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay, that's what you said, right?
Yes.
Some people become uprooted, don't they? Right?
In whole culture, yes.
People in your audience, right?
I'm just speaking in general.
And these are people that you use, don't you?
No.
Okay. What about Dan Badani? You know Dan Badani?
Yes.
Dan Badani was an employee of yours, correct?
Briefly, full time, then did some stuff for us, yes.
Yeah. And when you got sued, you were very, very nervous about being connected to Dan Badani, weren't you?
No, I mean, I like Dan, but I like Dan.
Is that a no? You weren't nervous about being connected to him?
I mean, later when he did some things we didn't like, I said we couldn't work with him anymore.
I'm talking about when you were sued. When you were sued here, 2018, remember that?
Yes.
One of the first things you did was direct Rob Dew to figure out when was the last time you paid Dan Badani, isn't it?
I don't remember that.
You don't? Do you deny it?
No, I mean,
And during your first deposition in Texas, you said under oath that the last thing Dan Bidandi ever did for you was cover the Boston Marathon bombing, correct?
I mean, it all just bleeds together. This is years ago. I don't remember.
No, sir. You weren't deposed years ago. You testified.
I wasn't deposed years ago.
You testified in Texas, did you not, that the last thing Dan Bidandi ever did for you was cover the Boston Marathon?
Objection to the form, Judge. If it's impeachment, the rules require.
I know he covered that.
The item.
Overruled.
Do you not know if you testified to that?
Objection.
I don't.
Overruled.
I don't remember.
Let's pull up. Exhibit 185, this is in evidence.
It is a full exhibit, Your Honor.
And let's just pull up the header in the first sentence there. This is from Rob Dew, right?
Yes.
Rob Dew, one of your longtime top employees, correct?
Yes.
In fact, Rob Dew came up to Connecticut with you for your deposition, right?
Yes.
And he came up to Connecticut with you for your trial testimony. He's here right now. Isn't he?
Yes.
And Rob Dew is emailing Melinda Flores. Melinda is your bookkeeper, correct?
Was.
And Tim Fruget, that's your longtime business director, correct?
Yes.
And he's copying an M. Balin at Baker Law. That's one of your lawyers, right?
Was.
He was at this time, yes?
Yes.
And what's the date?
5/24/18.
Right. And the subject?
Damn it on me.
It says, from what I can tell, we paid our last invoice to Dan on January 2016. The invoice was from December 2015, right? That's what it says?
It does say that.
And this is the day after you were sued by these families that Rob Dew's looking into this, right?
I don't remember this.
Right. You don't remember? The question is, was this the day after you were sued?
If you tell me so,
No, sir. You're the witness here.
I don't remember.
Well, let me see if I can refresh your recollection. Let's bring up that, the complaint we were looking at earlier. You remember we were looking at your lawsuit earlier where you sued somebody else?
Yes.
And let's go down a page. Let's go to paragraph 5. May 23rd, 2018, InfoWars, Jones' employer was sued by a range of people, including those related to the victims of the Sandy Hook shooting. I read that right?
Yes.
So if that's true, and this is your complaint, right?
Yes.
Rob Dew, the day after, is trying to figure out when Dan Bidandi last worked for you guys, right?
I guess that's an email. Yes.
And then, pull that down. I think your testimony is that you don't recall whether you said the last thing he ever covered for you was the Boston Marathon bombing, right?
Yeah, I don't remember any of this. Yes.
And the reason that you were so concerned about Dan Bidandi is because you knew exactly what you had him do for you, right?
Objection. It assumes a fact, not an evidence.
Overruled.
Okay. When you would send Dan Bidandi on a mission, what would you call him?
All sorts of names. I don't know.
Well, why don't we see if we can refresh your recollection? Let's play Exhibit 11.
Do you know what we privately say about Bidani when we see him on a mission? What? Release the Kraken.
It's hilarious, isn't it, Mr. Jones?
I mean, I don't know the context of the clip. We are laughing.
Yeah. You can't tell from the clip what the context is?
No.
And when you send Dan Badani on a mission, you know what the Kraken is. That's a mythological monster, correct?
Yes.
And when you release Mr. Badani, it's because you want him to behave exactly in that way, right?
Objection as to form.
Overruled.
I mean, I don't know what specifics you're talking about. She'll refresh my memory.
Let me do that. Let me refresh your memory about what happens when you send Mr. Badani on a mission. It's Exhibit 27, Your Honor.
It is a full exhibit, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Trying to cover up you got the Sandy Hook thing, it's not cheap, please, guys. Sir, you put in for your assignment 12 hours ago?
Wow, retirement, huh?
You guys trying to cover up Sandy Hook?
Retirement, huh?
What's
Wow.
going on? We know you guys have correspondence, please.
You got nothing to hide, just speak to us.
Good time for retirement. Good time for retirement.
Good time.
Just speak to us.
See this slide, folks, right here. You got the Sandy Hook police chief right here, put in for his retirement.
Put in for his retirement.
He's not answering the questions and he's leaving the whole.
Yeah. Retirement, huh?
Attorney Frank, do you know about the police chief putting his retirement to a while ago? How do you guys feel like part of the massive number hiding the truth from Sandy Hook? There you see the line, folks, right there. You see the people defending
Look,
first.
he's blocking out the path down the stairs. This is all.
Yeah, you gotta
building. Get down out of the way stairs, buddy. What's this guy's name again? He's the
Sorry, yeah.
criminal in front of us, blocking our path down the walkway. And there's.
They ain't gonna block us. My way up the road, where is me?
Yeah.
What is that?
Crooked crow, piece of shit, motherfucker. What, retirement, huh?
Sorry, please, I'm trying to.
How's your retirement gonna go?
Are you trying to cover up Sandy Hook? We know you have communication with the helicopter, that's protocol, sir.
Yep.
I'm a pilot myself, so you're not following over.
Oh, thank you.
You know, the information's gonna come out, you know that, right? When people go to jail, you want to understand. Will,
Retirement, wow. That's great. I hope you enjoy that retirement.
so are you retiring due to the fact that Sandy Hook was a cover-up? So are you watching around the police chief of Sandy Hook there in Newtown, Connecticut? He's covering up the whole operation. They had communication with the helicopter, the line on the stand. That's perjury, sir. You know what perjury is?
You got nothing to hide, just speak to us, sir.
Yeah, you got nothing to hide. You speak
Take a
up.
moment to speak with us. You're a public official.
Sir, you know you're live on the air, right? Who was home?
That's the Kraken, right? Dan Badani?
Yeah.
And you thought so highly of Dan Badani that you actually allowed him to live stream this to your audience, correct?
I don't believe so.
No?
It looks like remember, he had his own show on another, but he just put him, I don't remember exactly, but that doesn't look like anything we put up. I think clips of it may have been played on one of the other shows I have with host memory serves, but I mean, first time I saw this was a few years ago.
What year do you think this was?
I don't remember.
Your testimony is the first time you saw this was like a few years ago?
I mean, can you refresh my memory? I mean,
Do you need your memory refreshed?
yeah, I don't remember what happened 2 weeks ago on my show. So a lot of on-air stuff. That just doesn't look like our graphics. So.
Go ahead, keep playing it. See if we can help you with this, Mr. Jones.
You got nothing to hide. Just speak to us. I'm going to jail, criminal.
Truth is out there.
You're going to jail, criminal.
Oh,
I'm going to reply to you. You, sir, defending criminals. How do you feel about that? You know, this guy here is somebody out of Central Cast and the Flyer. This is the exact person that they would hire to represent criminals, folks. The Sandy Hook truth is coming out, you people go to jail. You can smile all you want, you're going to jail for fraud. Plain and simple.
Oh, you're looking at his credentials. Dan Badani, InfoWars.com, the #1 alternative news source in the world.
Lie right on the air. What do you have to say about defending criminals?
What you say?
Did you ever say, Mr. Jones, that he was live right on the air?
I'm not understanding what you're trying to say.
Did you hear him say in that video to the people he was harassing that they were live on the air?
Yes.
Okay. And are you familiar with your corporate representative's testimony that in fact this had been streamed through InfoWars? Are you familiar with that testimony?
I'm not familiar with that, and I don't even really get the point you're getting at.
Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not for you to get the point. It's for the jury. Okay?
Objection, move to strike that again, Judge.
So, Mr. Jones,
It's not Mr. Jones' testimony, I move to strike.
excuse me, I'm speaking. So listen to the question that's asked and answer the question that's asked. Your answer was not responsive in any way, shape, or form. So I can have the monitor read it back, or I can have Mr. Madden ask the question again. But just listen to the question that's asked and answer that question. So whether or not you get the point of where Mr. Madden is going with it,
Okay.
is not a concern.
My objection was to the gratuitous comments in counsel. I object to those comments.
To the extent there were any gratuitous comments by anyone, they're stricken. So, Mr. Maddy, do you want me to have the monitor play the question back, or do you have it?
That's not necessary,
Okay.
Your Honor. Because I think ultimately where you're going to land, Mr. Jones, is that you just don't know whether this was streamed by InfoWars, right?
Yes, I know we put some of his stuff on air. This looks like his show he would do and put InfoWars on it. I know he had his own streaming show. That's why I can't answer the question. I don't know.
All right, so I'm going to move to strike that part.
So ordered.
And the answer is you don't.
I don't know.
You do know that after this, Mr. Badani came back on to talk about Sandy Hook, right?
I believe they had him on some shows, yes.
You had him on, didn't you?
I know I had him on some. I can't remember all the days.
And what you wanted him on to talk about was this new revelation that an FBI agent, John Doe, Rob Dew's uncle, was now investigating Sandy Hook, correct?
I do remember that happened.
Yeah. And I think you titled that video, Mega Massive Cover-Up, FBI Agent Now Investigating Sandy Hook, right?
Someone titled it that, probably me.
And if you're familiar with Rob Dew's testimony, that the reality is he doesn't even know if his uncle was a janitor for the FBI. You aware of that?
I think that was a sarcastic comment. Did you ask him that?
Move to strike. Are you aware that that was his testimony?
I think I heard about it secondhand.
From who, Rob?
Yes, he said it was a joke.
Oh, he did. That's what he said?
Yeah.
He was under oath when he made that joke?
Like I told you, I heard it secondhand.
Right. Is Rob in the area today?
I think he is.
Yeah. Does he look close by?
I'm not sure where he's at right now.
Would you be willing to present him to testify here?
Objection, Judge.
Sustained.
There's an objection pending. It's been sustained. Mr. Jones.
I can't keep telling your client that. If he wants to keep answering, I can only say it so many times.
I finally stopped myself that time.
In addition to Dan Badani, you familiar with a gentleman named Matthew Mills?
No.
Do you recall in your deposition, I showed you a broadcast of your show in which you had invited somebody on named Matthew Mills that had infiltrated the Super Bowl?
You mean a caller? I do remember that now, yes.
What do you remember about that?
I vaguely remember I remember that name about a caller from the Super Bowl.
So somebody just called into your show, you didn't know who he was?
Can you refresh my memory?
I can if you need a refresh.
I don't. I'm trying to help you, so I'm actually trying to answer the questions, but I don't have all the answers.
Okay, because what you just said, and please don't help me, I just want you to testify truthfully. If the answer, you kind of volunteered that somebody had called in, but the reality is that you don't know whether that's true or not, right?
Yes, so much. I think, can you, I remember that name. Maybe you brought it up to me in deposition or something.
And so, the video you remember is of you interviewing somebody who had infiltrated the Super Bowl. Do you remember at least that much?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, this is not yet in evidence. If I can get the right number here. It's Exhibit 13, Your Honor. I'd offer it.
No foundation as yet.
I agree.
Your Honor, it might be useful for me to lay the foundation outside the presence of the jury. Mr. Jones could look at it.
He can't look at it on his own screen.
Unless we have headphones, because it's a video.
Oh, okay. All right, so this will be a quick one. You can leave your notepads, and Ron will take you into the jury room. Please be seated.
All right, Mr. Jones, why don't we pull up first page 662 of volume 2 of Mr. Jones's deposition.
Which deposition, sir?
April 6th, 2022. No. 662, line 12. Trying to do this quickly. Now, Mr. Jones, you recall that in your deposition I asked you about this video and I played it for you?
No, I remember vaguely.
Okay, all right. And I represent to the court and counsel that the deposition testimony we're about to review relates to the same exhibit that's being offered here.
I accept the representation.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Showing you page 662. I'm just going to read this to you, Mr. Jones. You tell me if it's accurate. Question, are you familiar with a gentleman named Matthew Mills? Answer, it doesn't ring a bell. Question, okay, let me see if I can refresh your recollection. Do you recall interviewing a gentleman who had infiltrated a press event at the Super Bowl? Answer, no. In 2014, no. And he had snuck into the press event and grabbed a microphone and said that 9/11 was perpetrated by the U.S. government? Answer, I do remember that now. Question, that's ringing your bell? And you had that gentleman, Mr. Matthew Mills, on the air? Correct? Answer, yes. You recall interviewing him now? Answer, now, yeah. And then we played that. According to the transcript, you then played that in. Okay. I'd offer, Your Honor.
No objection.
Whenever you're ready, Ron.
Sorry, Your Honor.
That's all right. No. I figured you were making your notes there.
You know what, Your Honor, I could have done that with the jury here. It just didn't occur to me at first.
May I speak to Attorney Manning briefly?
You may. Thank you for your patience. We will quit as promised. All right, please be seated. Council, stipulate that our entire panel is present.
Oh, may I proceed, Your Honor? Thank you. Mr. Jones, while the jury was out, we were able to refresh your memory that you did in fact interview a gentleman named Matthew Mills on your Alex Jones show, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And this has been offered and admitted as the Alex Jones, portion of the Alex Jones broadcast on February 3rd, 2014. I'm going to play it and I'm going to ask you some questions about it.
Okay.
It's Exhibit 13 for the record.
We're going to play that coming up after some calls in the next segment. But right now, finishing up with the man of the hour, truly getting his 15 minutes of fame for something that matters. I mean, look at that goofy lineman up there going, yeah, I never thought I'd be an MVP. It's so incredible. Meanwhile, a guy with real courage jumps up there and says, 9/11 is an inside job staged by criminal elements of the government. And he joins us now, a listener of the transmission. I had a good feeling that he was a listener. We checked it out online, found some of his work, knew he was. But he's a listener via YouTube, a viewer via YouTube, like so many tens of millions a week are. And he joins us, Matthew Mills. Matthew, closing comments. I just want to tell you, I really admire your work, and you're the kind of stand-up guy. You know, you're the kind of guy we need as an East Coast reporter. We don't have the money to have you full-time. We can pay you when you go out on events. In the future, you're the type of guy, it'd be cheaper than sending Jakari. He's a great guy, you know, all the way from Texas to the East Coast. Well, maybe we should talk about, we're talking about hiring Sergeant Biggs right now and work for us as a reporter, but as well. But, you know, I think you've got what it takes because, you know, you got in there and you did it, buddy. You've got the right stuff, so we salute you. How would you like to go on assignment at least once a month for us on the East Coast and get paid to do it?
Yeah, I would love to do it.
Yeah, I think you're a real kind of guy we need on the team. So, you know, what else is going on, brother? Anything else you want to add?
I think we kind of covered it all.
You know, I'm getting a little bit excited about you right now. I mean, listen, I don't get excited about Peyton Manning in football. I mean, I get excited about what you did. I want to sneak into Bohemian Grove again, or I want to sneak into Skull and Bones. I want to sneak in and expose these corrupt garbage heads. I mean, I love you blowing their operation and watching them run around like chickens with their heads cut off. You know what a big fan of you I am right now? Let me hear your war growl right now. Ah!
If me and you get to talk off air, I'll tell you about a couple other things I want to infiltrate. So
I like it. Like that. Anything else, soldier? Anything else you want to tell us?
no, man, not at all. I appreciate the call. I didn't even know you wanted me to call in. So I got some text. It's been nice to talk to you. I've been listening to you for a while, and I'm a big fan of your work.
Remember that now?
I do remember now, yes.
Pretty clear to you now that actually you and your people reached out to him to have him on, right?
I think it was like a mini guest. Yeah, now that I remember this, they got him on through social media, yeah,
And you offered him a job?
yes. I mean, I talked about doing it.
And you said anything else, soldier, right?
Yep.
And this broadcast went out to millions and millions of people, right?
The Super Bowl?
No, this wasn't the Super Bowl, was it, Mr. Jones? This was your broadcast. That's what I'm asking about.
I mean, I don't know how many went out that day, but definitely a lot, hundreds of thousands at least.
All of them are watching you praise Matthew Mills, right?
Objection, Judge. Our position is speculative.
Yeah, first, I mean, I believe that there's a cover-up 9/11.
I'm not asking you about your beliefs about 9/11. You were praising Matthew Mills, right?
For 9/11, for what he did at the Super Bowl.
Right. He infiltrated the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I thought that was good civil action.
Let's just see if we can do yes or no, okay?
Okay.
He took over the stage at the post-Super Bowl press conference, yes?
Yes.
He yelled into the microphone as the MVP was being interviewed that 9/11 was staged by criminal elements of the United States government, yes? You admired that about him, right?
Yes.
You communicated to your audience that you admired that about him.
Yes.
You even offered him the job on air, yes?
Yes.
You called him a soldier, right?
Yes.
Anything else you want to add, soldier, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said he was a big fan of yours, right?
Yes.
He'd been following your work for a long time.
Yes.
And then he said, hey, I got a couple other things I'd like to infiltrate. I could talk to you about off air, right?
Yes.
This is February 2014, right?
I believe that's the date you said.
You know he's arrested for trespassing at the Super Bowl?
I don't remember.
Do you know he was arrested in Connecticut a little over a year later?
I do remember this story now. I don't remember exactly what he did, but I remember something about it.
You remember enough to know that the next event he infiltrated was the Vicky Soto Memorial 5K, right?
Objection, argumentative, terms of fact, not in evidence.
You don't know that?
I mean, we never hired him. I never really talked. I don't think I ever talked to him again after that.
You don't know though, do you, Mr. Jones?
Well, I mean, it'd be in our records. You've got all the records.
Wait a minute. If you had a phone call with Matthew Mills after this and he said, I got a couple other things I'd like to infiltrate, I want to talk to you about, where would that record be?
Why don't you call him and ask him? I do.
Oh, we know. I'm asking you now. Did you talk to him?
I think during the break, going to break, and then it wasn't very coherent. But this is for a long time ago, so I can't exactly remember. But I don't think I ever talked to him again after that.
Mm-hmm. You know who showed up in Stratford though, right? Connecticut?
No.
You know who showed up in Stratford and confronted the Soto family when they were trying to put on a charity race in memory of their daughter and sister?
No, I didn't know about that. So I think you told me about the deposition.
Well, but that's the type of thing that you love, right?
No, I never came and did that.
Argumentative.
No.
Oh,
Just another uprooted tree. Yeah?
Again, you're just mixing things together.
Do you want to answer the question?
No, not just another uprooted tree.
In fact, even as this trial's been going on, the Jones Army has been active, hasn't it?
Objection is to form, Judge. Argumentative.
overruled.
I don't know what that means.
Mr. Jones, do you remember referring to yourself in your broadcast as a precision-guided munition?
That's a metaphor, information war.
Yeah, it's a metaphor. I know you're not actually a missile. It's a metaphor, right?
Yes, it refers to nonviolent civil disobedience, you name it.
Okay, it's an interesting non-violent metaphor to choose. A precision-guided munition.
Objection is to form, argumentative.
Sustained. Let's ask the next.
You refer to yourself as a precision-guided munition, right?
I think you played me a clip of me saying that.
And you lay yourself down on the barbed wire so the rest of your army can come in over the top, right?
I think you're quoting me.
And that army's been coming over the top right here in Waterbury this week, hasn't it?
Objection, Judge.
Overruled.
I don't know of what you speak.
Okay? Didn't you go on the air just a couple of days ago and commend your audience members for vandalizing property around this courthouse?
Oh, I mean, if you consider...
Is that a yes or no?
No, I didn't commend people for vandalizing.
You did? Okay. Let's pull up Exhibit 520. It's not, I don't think it's yet in evidence. You see it, funny, sir?
I don't consider a sticker.
I asked you whether you see something on the screen.
Yes, I see an InfoWars sticker.
You see an InfoWars sticker on a street sign right outside this courthouse, correct?
Looks like it.
And you talked about that on air, didn't you?
Yeah, I believe if you said it.
I'd offer it, Your Honor.
No objection, Judge.
And now, Your Honor, I'd like to offer 521.
I don't know what it is, Judge.
521, sir, you broadcast on air commending people for doing this, right? Just this last week?
I mean, I do want to commend people. I think the First Amendment's under attack.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Excuse me.
I want to commend them now.
Okay. You did it on air, didn't you?
I don't remember, but I commend them now.
Okay. Well, why don't we see if we can refresh your recollection, Your Honor? This is a video. Do you have any objection to it? Your Honor, I would, I hate to do this, but if there's going to be an objection, I'm going to have to play it.
Proper what it is.
Oh, this is, I'm happy to proffer. This will be a broadcast of Mr. Jones earlier this week talking about this very thing on the show.
Unedited?
What do you mean unedited? It shows 4 hours.
Unedited. In other words, ask me to read it.
This might avoid having to get up.
The representation is that it will be an unedited clip. No objection.
I'm totally sick of it.
This isn't bravado.
Go ahead.
This is America. This is Texas. This is freedom. This is Christianity. This is resistance. My forebears fought tyranny and were incredible people, and I will live up to their measure. And you will as well. So don't ever, as dark as the hour is and as out of control things are, don't you ever not realize how important you are and what you've done with your word of mouth and your action. And I'm talking to people that went to that puppet courthouse in Connecticut and put InfoWars stickers up everywhere. We commend you.
So we are this public courthouse, yeah? Yes, that's what you were referring to?
It's not mostly peaceful protests where they burn down $2 billion, but that's good. But then conservatives put up stickers and we're bad. I know we all need to go to prison.
You done?
I'm gonna excuse the jury for a moment.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
No, I'm gonna excuse the jury for a moment. I'll see counsel on the sideboard.
May I have a moment with my client in a brief recess?
Well, I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah.
I just, I know, we can't show the book when we want to answer your questions.
You're choosing.
No, I understand.
You tell me not to cut him off. My impression of Mr. Jones is that he has been largely responsive to the questions. We've had few argumentative outbursts, fewer than I had expected. This was startling. It may be a sign of fatigue. If the court wants to take an early afternoon break, I will remind them of your orders and the consequences of break. Look, I'm talking to the court, not you guys. I mean, it's a.
Oh, yeah, I am. Why don't we go to 3:15? How's that?
Yes, thank you. Okay.
take your seats. Just so everyone can plan accordingly, we're gonna take our, even though you've had an opportunity to get up and down, the staff has not, so we will take our afternoon recess in about 15 minutes, okay?
Thank you. I'm gonna take this.
And every day, Mr. Jones, that you've been doing stuff like we just saw, you've been encouraging, oh, I'm sorry, Attorney Farrell. You've been encouraging your audience to give you money, right?
Yes, like media, I raise money to stay on air.
And the most recent website you've been encouraging your audience to donate at is 1776coin.com, right?
Well, it's where you can buy silver coins.
Yeah. 1776coin.com is the website, right?
Yes.
It's also known as patriotscollectibles.com, right?
1776coin.com.
And you are telling your audience that they need to go out right now to support you and buy a, I think you say 0.999 silver coin with Teddy Roosevelt on it?
Yes.
How much are you offering that for right now?
Like $130.
$130 for a coin. What is it, about the size of a quarter?
No, it's cost about $35 to make.
I said, how big is it?
No, it's the size of a silver dollar. It's a silver dollar.
Okay. You say it costs $35 to make?
Yeah.
Okay, you pulled that out pretty quickly. So what's the margin?
Objection, Judge.
Sustained.
What's the margin on that? How much you say you're selling it for?
Well, on sale it's $99, but it is a fundraiser point. Like when PBS sells a coffee cup for $100.
I asked you how much you're selling it for.
You could get it on sale for $99.
What are you selling it for?
What?
Did you say you were selling it for $99 earlier?
Yeah, there's a sale too.
You're running a sale on it. What's it full price?
I just told you $130.
Thank you, $130. But they can get it right now for how much? $99?
The last time I checked a few days ago, there was a sale on. Yeah.
Okay. And the cost to you is how much?
It's like $35, depending on what it said to get it. It's like $35, something like that.
So if it's full price, you're talking about what? Like a 300% markup?
And we tell the listeners it has that because we need the support.
You tell the listeners what your cost is?
Absolutely, they know. They're smart.
You
Conservatives know all about silver and
You
gold.
tell them that you get Vaso beef for $4?
Get what?
You sell a product called Vaso beef, don't you?
No, Vaso beef.
Thank you, Vaso beef. I'm sorry, I'm not a customer.
Objection, Judge. Moves to strike.
Sustained.
Vaso beef you sell for how much?
I don't know.
Okay. Your retail is, your cost is $4, right?
I think it's more than that.
Okay. Tim Fruget would know that?
Yes, I mean, if you want me, I can get those numbers for you.
No, I think I can show them to you. Hold on 1 second. We'll get that for you in a second. They'll let me know when it's ready. Your testimony is that you tell your audience what the markup is on the supplements you sell?
I think from time to time we've told people, yeah.
What's the markup on the food buckets you're selling?
It's 35 to 40%. I know you have a text message that isn't right that says 80. It's just not the case.
Okay.
No.
So when Tim Fruget told you that 70% of the money you're making off storable food is pure profit, that was a mistake.
That was definitely a mistake.
You know better.
Yeah, absolutely, I know.
And you're interested in that, right?
I mean, I just know that's more disinformation. Told you how much the coin was, told you what happens to the food, told you point blank.
So Tim Fruget, when he's texting you, is spreading disinformation?
Objection, Judge.
Overruled.
I saw in the last, I can't talk about the last thing.
You know what the text
The
message
text
is.
message, and it was not correct.
Answering.
But the Vaso beef markup, you don't know.
I don't have that in front of me.
Anyway, back to this coin. This is what you've been asking your audience to give you money for this week, right?
We actually started making these coins 6 months ago.
But what you're running right now, this week, is you've been talking about this trial. After each segment, you're sending them to 1776coin.com. right?
Yes, that's where we sell the collectible coins for people that want to keep the show on the air.
Okay. And did you tell Brittany Paz about that revenue platform?
We advertise it on air. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay. Free Speech Systems owns that website?
No, it's an outside platform, but it advertises on Free Speech Systems.
And but you get a cut of what they sell, obviously. That's why you're pitching it.
Yes.
Yeah. And what about 50percentoff.com? Do you have that one?
No, that's not on the website.
What about? Do you have an interest in it?
No.
What about Prepare with Alex?
That is a URL that links to preparewithalex.com links to preparetoday.com. So I told you last time, it's a link. It's not a website.
Right. It has products for sale on it. Prepare Today.
Yes.
In other words, what you're saying, this is this idea of redundancy again, right? People can get to preparetoday.com by either going to Prepare with Alex or Prepare Today, right?
Preparetoday.com is the actual website.
Right.
And all preparewithalex.com is another URL that will take you there.
Right. So if you type in preparewithalex.com, you automatically go to preparetoday.com, right?
I believe so.
And you sell stuff on that.
No, another party sells the storable foods there that they pay us advertising.
And well, wait a second now. Are you saying that you don't get a cut of the products that are sold on preparetoday.com?
I just said it pays us advertising.
You said they pay you advertising. But isn't it true that you get a cut of whatever the sales are? Or maybe you don't know.
I don't understand what you're saying. Of course we get paid the money.
Okay. Do we have that? Basil beet, excuse me. Yeah, it's full exhibit, yes? Oh, let's pull it up in front of you, Mr. Jones.
And what exhibit is this? ID?
Oh. This is a demonstrative, Your Honor, that was shown in opening. All aspects of it are in full, and so I would just ask to display it to the jury.
If it has a number, I'd like to know it.
No, this is a demonstrative exhibit. Let me pull it up. InfoWars store, that's your logo, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You familiar with this text message from Tim Fruget? Emailed all the plugs to Drew, Do, and all producers. The retail for Veso Beat will be $39.95 and sale for $19.95. Our cost is $4.
I see that.
Okay, and if you go down, if you just kind of back out of that, that's what you get, right, for $39.95 or 19 something. If it's
Same thing under another name sold on Fox News, same price.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
But I believe that some of the bigger bottles, like $10 a bottle for us.
Okay. And you just pay $4 for that.
I think we're paying like $8 last time I checked, but that's what it says.
And of course you tell your audience, hey, listen, we pay $4 for this, but we want you to give us $40 for it. You tell them that?
Well, we usually sell it for $19.
Okay. Do you tell them, we pay $4 for this, but we're going to mark it up
Yeah.
400%?
My audience are like,
Can you just answer that?
Mm-hmm. My audience is smart. That they actually work for a living. They understand markup. They understand what we're doing.
Oh, okay. All right. And why don't we talk about cryptocurrency?
Okay.
Because one of the ways that you encourage your audience to give you money is in cryptocurrency donations, right?
Yes.
And I think we have that page. Yeah, that's new to the photo. And you have a page on your website that's just for cryptocurrency donations, right?
Infowars.com/crypto.
Is that a little advertisement just there?
Well, we're fighting the deep state. We need money.
All right. And that'll end up as a clip for you on your show tonight, won't it?
Objection, move to strike, Judge.
Won't it?
Objection, move to strike again.
I'm sorry. When you turn around to look at the camera and talk, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. That will end up as a clip on your show tonight.
Objection.
Your advertisement for your cryptocurrency page.
You know, I mean, people want to keep us in the fight. So I mean, I hope whoever the big whales are that have given us money before keep doing it.
We'll just keep minting money as you're in this courtroom. won't we, Mr.
Objection,
Jones?
Judge.
All right, let's move on.
I mean,
And
people care about the First Amendment.
And in the cryptocurrency page, people can give you in Bitcoin, yes?
Yes.
Ethereum, right?
Yes.
And it says support the InfoWars, right?
Yes.
But there's nothing on that page that tells your audience that when they give you cryptocurrency, it goes directly into your personal account, is there?
Oh, I've told the listeners that.
Mr. Jones, listen to my question. On the page, the crypto page, where you say support the InfoWars, there's nothing on there that says that the crypto donations go directly into your personal account, is there?
And then directly into the company account. That's how crypto works.
Okay. Do we have the page? 516. Oh, I don't think it's admitted yet. Take a look at your screen.
I know the page.
Okay, well, I need to admit it 3. Is that it?
Yes.
I offer it, Your Honor.
No objection, Judge, on that foundation.
And that is exhibit what, Ron?
I believe you said 516.
So ordered.
This is it. Give crypto, fund InfoWars. Sponsor us with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, right?
Yes.
And then it gives you another of, I'm sorry, you can back out of that. It gives you all these different cryptocurrencies you can give, right?
Yes.
So just to be real clear, this is a yes or no. When somebody gives cryptocurrency over this website, it goes directly into your crypto wallet that you personally control. Yes or no?
Yes.
And when that happens, you have full and sole access to that asset, right?
Yes.
It's password protected.
Yes.
And earlier this year, in a number of donations, $8 million in Bitcoin was donated through this page to you personally, correct?
I think it was 9 million.
9 million. And you cashed out about 5 million of that, right?
No, that's when you deposed me. We've cashed all but $60,000 out, and it's all been put into InfoWars.
Okay, so let's just get this real clear. So your sworn testimony to this jury and anybody else who may be interested is that that full amount that went to you personally, you then put right into free speech systems. That's your sworn testimony?
I don't have the exact accounting, but do the math. There's $60,000 left in the wallet, which is public. Anybody can go look at it. You act like it's all secret. The whole point of it's public. And so there's the wallet. And then that's how my IT folks set it up. That's how you do it, is you get your personal wallet, and then I put it in my private bank account, and then I put it into the company. And I think we put all the money I put in my account into free speech systems. It's been, I'm not allowed to say the rulings, but it's trying to shore it up. And then there's 60,000 left, hoping it goes back up, that we're waiting. But I don't think it's going to go back up for a while, and we're probably going to dump that out next week and put it in the free speech systems.
So just to wrap this up, your sworn testimony is that everything other than $60,000 of that $8 million that you got went into your personal account, and then you transferred it into free speech systems. Yes or no?
Yes, other than bonuses, $100,000 of bonuses went to the IT people and some of the graphics crew. So they got $100,000.
You got none of it yourself, is what you're saying.
Yes, and it'd be nice if we could put on evidence, but we're blocked from it. I could probably get you those numbers. Would you like those?
No, what I want you to do is offer sworn testimony that
Objection,
none of
Judge.
that money
Objection.
went to you.
Jane, why don't we just rephrase the question?
I got a new question for you. I just want to be crystal clear. None of that money ended up with you personally. Yes or no?
Well, you'll say technically. Well, technically, it went in my bank account, and then I put it into free speech system. That's how it works.
None of it remains in your personal possession.
I'd have to do the exact accounting. I think it may be negative. I mean, I think I may put more money in.
All right, Mr. Jones.
Well, Chris, you're trying to.
Well, first of all,
Yeah. Mr. Maddie.
I think we can close that.
Okay.
said about 3:15.
This is a good time. All right, so we will take the afternoon recess. We will resume at 3:30. Ron will collect your notepads. You'll continue to obey the rules of juror conduct. Good afternoon, everyone. Please be seated. We're ready to resume?
Yes, sure.
Attorney Maddie, can you talk to Attorney Pattis about a good time to end today? You thinking like 4:30 or?
I will be done, I would expect, within the next 20 minutes, I would think.
Oh,
And then Attorney Pattis can go as long as.
okay.
Can we go left? Maybe?
Sure.
So I was telling my colleagues during the break that I may not recall, I may not have further questions for Watts because I'm trying to make the most of his time. If the court wants to discuss with Jones tonight, that's fine. If the court, today rather, if the court would consider starting it tomorrow, it'll be quicker. I'll have a chance to think about it. Otherwise, I'm prepared to start, but I won't finish tonight and there'll be a little bit of filibuster
Yeah, I
in here.
don't, you guys don't care, right? It's been a long day.
Okay.
All right, so why don't we start?
You want to just agree to end when I'm done with direct?
That's what I'm saying. So you want to do it?
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Alrighty. Welcome back, folks. Council stipulate that the entire panel has returned.
Yes, Your Honor.
Attorney Pattis, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge, yes.
Please be seated. Whenever you're ready, Attorney Maddie.
Mr. Jones, am I correct that you've estimated your audience to be about 10% of the English-speaking world?
I would have, I think at one time or another, 10% of the English-speaking world has probably tuned into my show or seen clips of it somewhere.
Okay. So fair to say that in your view, at least, at one point, 10% of the English-speaking world was exposed to your content, yes?
Yes, and that's about 50 million, not 550 million. That doesn't exist. There's not that many English speakers in the world. Your number, you're expert about.
You know that that's actually not referring to people, that's referring to views. Do you know that?
Well, my coverage of Sandy Hook didn't have 50 million views.
Your Honor, I'm going to strike that.
Sustained. Stricken.
Are you aware that this jury has seen exhibits that in 2011 alone, there were 286 million page views on your website?
But not on Sandy Hook.
Mr. Jones, see if you can answer my question. Are you aware, and I'm going to strike that.
Stricken.
Are you aware that according to your own data, just in 2011 alone, and just on InfoWars.com alone, you had 286 million page views?
A page view is not a person.
So is that a yes or no? I didn't ask about people, I asked about page views, right?
I'm not a computer statistician.
Oh, okay. So, and the idea here for you, and has been, is to grow your audience so you can make more money, right?
No.
So, you have expanded your audience year over year, right, since you started?
No, after the thing I'm not allowed to talk about happened, the audience got a lot smaller.
Mr. Strike.
Sustained.
Mr. Jones, let's see if we can just agree on this. I know Attorney Pattis doesn't like. Let's see if this is accurate. The more people who come to your website or see your stuff on social media, the more money you make. Yes?
In a crude way, that's true, but not exactly.
All right. And every year in which you made claims about Sandy Hook, you were making more money. Yeah?
Jack, it's a little ambiguous.
Let's go year over year. 2012 to 2013, you made more money. Yes?
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe so, yes.
2013 to 2014, you made more money. Yeah?
Yes.
2014 to 2015, you made more.
Yes.
And so on. Yes?
Yes, that's for the...
Is that yes?
That was globalism coming true.
Is that yes?
Yes, but Sandy Hook wasn't the driver of that.
Move to strike, Your Honor.
Stricken.
And this is the time when you were repeatedly referring to the families who lost loved ones at Sandy Hook as actors, yes?
No.
Including Robbie Parker, correct?
I did say that about him.
And Robbie Parker, you repeatedly showed slow motion video of him walking up to a microphone to give a statement the evening after his daughter Emily was murdered, correct?
Yes, and I've apologized for that.
Move to strike that, Your Honor.
Can you objection? I think it's responsive.
It's not, it's stricken.
And so you apologize for that?
Many times.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Jones. Let's do this. May I just have a moment, Your Honor?
Take your time.
On your show last week, Mr. Jones, talking about this case and saying, you're not apologizing for anything. Didn't you say that? Yes or no?
I said I'm finished apologizing.
Didn't you say on your show last week, I'm not apologizing for anything. I'm right 99% of the time. Didn't you say that? Yes or no?
Yes.
And you showed this video of Robbie Parker over and over and over again, correct?
Last week?
It's disrespectful.
No, during the years in which you did this, okay, you showed a slowed down, edited video of Robbie Parker time after time after time. Yes?
It was a huge video on the internet. We covered it. We did not
Is that
create
a
it.
yes?
We showed the clip was on the internet.
Now, the clip that you showed was how long?
I don't remember.
You never once showed Robbie's statement that he gave about his daughter, did you?
I believe this is over 10 years. I don't remember.
You've had from 2012 until now to show that full statement, correct? Yes or no?
I don't think it's fair to say I didn't show it because I don't
Well,
know.
do you know or not?
I don't know.
Okay. Would Brittany Paz know?
I mean, we
Would Brittany Paz know?
I don't know.
Whether you showed it or not, did you ever watch his full statement?
I believe so.
You do. You think you watched the full 15 minutes?
No, I saw what I saw on the news and I saw the big internet.
I'm asking you whether you watched the full statement, sir.
I don't remember.
We're going to watch it now. It's Exhibit 2, Your Honor.
Full exhibit.
It's a full exhibit, Your Honor.
a situation like this. I remember at Virginia Tech when I went out there, parents, loved ones of slain young people wanted to remember their sons and their daughters, and as a result, they spoke and made a statement. So we'll see if Robbie Parker, I assume he's going to come onto the microphones now and make a statement. Looks like the family is there, and they're getting ready to come to the microphone, so we'll listen to her. Okay.
So my name is Robbie Parker. My family is one of the families that lost a child yesterday in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shootings here in Connecticut. I've been contacted by so many people and agencies wanting to know how we're doing, and I just thought that this might be the best way to share those feelings with everybody. First of all, I'd really like to offer our deepest condolences to all the families who were directly affected by this shooting. It's a horrific tragedy, and we want everybody to know that our hearts and our prayers go out to them. This includes the family of the shooter. I can't imagine how hard this experience must be for you. And I want you to know that our family and our love and our support goes out to you as well. At this time, our thanks go out to so many people, so many friends and family and complete strangers who we don't know, for all the love, condolences, and support that you've given to us. My daughter, Emily, would be one of the first ones to be standing and giving her love and support to all those victims, because that's the type of person that she is. Not because of any parenting that my wife and I could have done, but because those are the gifts that were given to her by her Heavenly Father. As the deep pain begins to settle into our hearts, we find comfort reflecting on the incredible person that Emily was, and how many lives that she was able to touch in her short time here on earth. Emily was bright, creative, and very loving. Emily was always willing to try new things, other than food. She loved to use her talents to touch the lives of everyone that she came into contact with. She was an exceptional artist, and she always carried around her markers and pencils so that she never missed an opportunity to draw a picture or make a card for those around her. I can't count the number of times Emily noticed someone feeling sad or frustrated and would rush to find a piece of paper to draw them a picture or to write them an encouraging note. Emily's card making was expressed beautifully this last October when she placed a very special card that she had made into the casket with her grandpa, who also just recently died of a tragic accident. Emily was a mentor to her two little sisters, in delighting in teaching them how to read, dance, and find the simple joys in life. Emily's laughter was infectious, and all those who had the pleasure to meet her would agree that this world is a better place because she has been in it. As we move on from what happened here, what happened to so many people, let it not turn into something that defines us, but something that inspires us to be better, to be more compassionate, and more humble people. Let us please keep the sentiments of love that we feel for our families and the compassion that we feel for others, even complete strangers, and keep them with us at all times, not just in times of sorrow and tragedy. And may we do this so that we can better all of our communities, in all of our cities, in all our states, so that we can make everyone, everywhere in this country, feel safe. Thank you. I'd be happy to answer any questions as long as I see them to be within reason. I was leaving to work, and she woke up before I left, And I've actually been teaching her Portuguese, and so our last conversation was in Portuguese. And she's told me good morning, and asked how I was doing, and I said that I was doing well. She said that she loved me, and I gave her a kiss, and I was out the door.
That's Robbie Parker, isn't it, Mr. Jones?
It is.
That's the real Robbie Parker, isn't it?
I mean, I said years ago I thought San Diego had him.
Robbie Parker's sitting right here. He's real, isn't he?
He is.
And for years, you put a target on his back, didn't you?
Objection to the form of that, Judge.
Well, I mean, I
Didn't you?
I've admitted I've said his name. It's true. I haven't said other people's names. We know who they are.
You put a target on his back just like you did every single parent and loved one sitting here, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
No, you
Objection.
didn't.
That's argumentative. It's speculative. There is no foundation for it, and it's inappropriate.
Let's move on.
These are real people. You know that,
Objection,
Mr.
Judge.
Jones?
I think you just told them to move on.
Just like all the Iraqis, but you liberals kill and love. It's just, you're unbelievable. You switch on emotions on and off when you want. It's just ambulance chasing.
Why don't you show a little respect?
Objection, Judge. I think that you get what you give in this court. Objection.
You have families in this courtroom here that lost children, sisters, wives, moms.
Is this a struggle session? Are we in China? I've already said I'm sorry hundreds of times, and I'm done saying I'm sorry. I didn't progenerate this. I wasn't the first person to say it. American gun owners didn't like being blamed for this, as the left did, so we rejected it mentally and said it must not be true. But I legitimately thought it might have been staged, and I stand by that, and I don't apologize for it.
And don't apologize, Mr. Jones. Please don't apologize.
No, I've already apologized to the parents over and
Because
over again.
we know
I don't apologize to you.
Objection.
Don't apologize to you.
You're going to do it again.
Objection, Judge.
Aren't you?
Objection.
I'm not.
Objection. Argumentative.
Don't apologize to you.
Well, it's hard for me to get a word in edgewise.
It is, but I
Because
think
your
there's
client
one
is-
officer of the court and one witness and an officer of the
why
court
don't
heard
we
the
move
objection.
on, and I can't rule on your attorney's, excuse me,
I'm sorry. Just screaming at me.
I can't rule on your attorney's objection.
Understand.
Keep talking, and he may have legitimate.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Because there's going to be another Robbie Parker, isn't there?
Objection, Judge.
No.
Sustained.
There's going to be another.
Objection.
Can I get my questions out?
When it's the same form, second time, the inference is it's going to also be objection.
I didn't say Parkland was fake. I didn't say Uvalde was. And no, okay, so that's a fact.
What did you say about Aurora?
Objection.
What, before this?
What did you say about Aurora?
Excuse me,
I'm
are you
objecting to the
objecting to
question.
your
I believe it was a real
client?
shooting, but he was in a mind control program, just like Theodore Kaczynski. Sorry.
Are you objecting to your client's answers, Attorney
Both,
Pattis?
both the answers and the questions. This is a courtroom, not a drama, not a
So
struggle.
here's what I'll tell you, Mr. Jones.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You're in a court of law. You have to follow the rules as the attorneys do, or officers of the court, and they are accountable to me, and I will deal with them. However, while there were media in the room, this is not a press conference. This is clearly not your show, and you need to respect the process.
I understand.
Whether you like it or not, you have to follow the rules.
I understand, Your Honor.
So just take a breath, have a little water if you like, and wait for the next question.
Judge, I believe there's another admonishment as
Oh, counsel, I'll see you on a sidebar. If I admonish anybody, it's gonna be both of you, okay? You're shouting over your client, you just have to stop. Okay, so let's get the next question and let's move forward.
Mr. Jones, there's going to be another mass shooting.
objection.
One word basis, hearsay, irrelevant, what is it? One word,
Argumentative.
overruled.
There's going to be another mass shooting. Isn't there?
Are you saying I'm going to shoot people? Like, how do I know there's been another mass shooting? Like, it's my fault. People think I killed the kids. I mean, that's my answer to you.
Let me see if I can ask my question again.
Sure.
You expect there's going to be another mass shooting, don't you?
There probably will be.
And when there is, you're going to be ready to pounce, right?
Objection.
No.
No?
Relevance.
All right. Why don't you look at your screen there, sir? Pull Exhibit 76, Mr. Jones, please.
Did you say 76?
Yes.
Yes, that is full exhibit.
Pull it for everybody. This is your homepage, right? InfoWars.com?
I can't, load up, please. Yes.
This is Mikhail Gorbachev, right? He died about 3 weeks ago, didn't he?
Yes.
Why don't you pull up the right side of the page? A little bit bigger, please, just the part survey there. And you're asking your audience that comes to your page to take a survey, aren't you? Correct?
Yes, I didn't write the survey, but.
And the survey is,
Good questions.
what will be the most likely deep state false flag ahead of the midterms, right?
Yes.
What's the first option?
The mass shooting, but I didn't write the poll.
Excuse me, sir. Mass shooting?
Yes.
And so when the next mass shooting comes, you're already conditioning your audience to believe that it's a fake staged event, aren't you?
Objection.
Well, false flag doesn't necessarily mean staged. It means they let it happen.
How many people responded to this survey, sir?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at it.
But there's going to be a mass shooting. And you're inviting your audience, even now, even after all this, to suspect that the next people, the next Robbie Parker, the next family are actors too, aren't you?
Objection. Argumentative.
No, I didn't say Uvalde was staged. I said the police did that for 77 minutes. And then the others either.
Yeah.
Power grid collapse, terror plot, bombing, COVID.
Right. Could
The
be
U.S.
any of
government
these.
said the Russians.
It could be any of these, right, Mr. Jones?
The U.S. government said the Russians staged a false flag to start the Ukraine war, and I believe it.
Right, Your Honor.
Yeah, they're real.
So, Mr. Jones, whenever the next mass shooting strikes, we can be pretty sure what you're going to do, right?
Objection. Speculative.
Yes or no?
I didn't write that poll, but I stand behind it. I've never seen that poll, but I think that's a reasonable question.
I'm done, Your Honor.
All right, so we are going to end here for the day. Ron will collect your notepads. I know you're tired of hearing me say it, but it is just so important that you continue to make all reasonable efforts to make sure that you avoid any and all media coverage of this trial or anything or anyone that is in any way, shape, or form related to it. Please be careful when you leave the courthouse to avoid anyone involved in the trial or any of the media. We will start again tomorrow at 10, so you'll be here around 9:45. And if there are any issues, which I hope there are not, we'll follow that very important and specific procedure I told you about with respect to the notes. So hopefully we'll have some better weather tomorrow. Everyone has safe travels home, and we will let the jury go, and I will speak with counsel.
Judge, are you adjourned or are you staying?
No, I'm on the record.
Okay, thank you.
You can say it. I can do it, you want to do it in a sidebar, or would you like to do it right here?
Right here is fine, too.
Okay. How are we going to avoid this problem tomorrow? Because I assume your client wants to.
I'm not sure the problem is mine. I raised an objection, and my adversary didn't stop for a ruling. He kept going, and I believe on his.
All right, so Attorney Pattis, the record will reflect that your client just kept giving answers quicker than you could get your objection out, pretty much. It is literally impossible to rule when the question is being answered before you even got your objection out. There's only so many times I can tell someone, don't answer a question when your attorney objects. But what I'm not going to have is what we just saw. So I don't know, I leave it in your capable hands to figure out a way that we don't have outbursts tomorrow.
When I'm objecting argumentative, and my client is baited into responding, I believe it's the court's responsibility and counsel's responsibility to get a ruling on the objection.
How do how do I do that when I can't even hear you because your client is giving his answer through your objection? It is impossible. I cannot possibly
stop him from speaking then so that I can be heard. I think the last 4 or 5 questions were argumentative, and I'll probably.
You want me to stop your client from speaking?
When there is an argument going on between he and counsel and I'm objecting and argumentative answers, yes.
Physically, you want me to stop him from speaking?
Well,
I'm not,
if you have the means to
I'm
do
trying
that.
to be as polite as possible, and I've told him the record will affect how many times I've told him, and he tells me he understands.
My record is clear, Judge. When counsel here are the professionals. I've made argumentative objections, and my adversary continued to raise his pitch tone, made appeals to the gallery, to the public, perhaps to the press, back turned to my client, screaming. That's inappropriate in any courtroom. I don't care if my client's up there baking cookies. I think it's the court's responsibility to stop that, and that's what I was asking to be done. I don't know.
Okay, so how about we do this tomorrow then? So I will have a zero tolerance policy from now on with counsel. So you can expect a contempt hearing if anybody steps out of line. And Mr. Jones, same thing. So, sir, you got to do a better job of following the courtroom rules, all right, with respect to your responses. I do not want to have a contempt hearing. I do not. I'm going to say it again. I do not want to have a contempt hearing. I don't. So please talk to your attorney, and tomorrow will be another day. Right? Anything else at this point?
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
No, you're right. Thank you.
We're adjourned.